Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Shit List. And today, on this very special first episode, we have the brainchild behind the Shit List who made up the idea and generously gave it to me. Very appropriately, he is on the first episode, Dodo. So, what is your least favorite movie, Dodo?
It's not a really hard decision. It's the Super Mario Brothers movie for sure.
Oh, well, that's great news because that is the movie we are talking about today on this very special first episode.
Oh man, I'm so surprised. What a coincidence.
I know, like that's how the movie hoppers works too. We just happen to see the same movie and we start the podcast, and if we see it, we just do a podcast, and if not, it's all coincidence. But
Uh,
yeah. So as you probably heard of this one, it was released in 1992, I think. Um,
I think it was 1993.
1993. I just know that yesterday was one of the anniversaries, so it's fun. But yeah, so everyone knows it. Everyone knows it sucks, but a lot of people don't know why it sucks. So Dodo himself suggested this film. So why, take it away. Say what you want.
There's plenty of bad things with the movie. I have a list that scrolls down for 2 minutes, which is about the amount of time that most people will last watching this movie. Um, However, like this movie, like repeated everything bad from other movies. Like, remember the baby on the doorstep? I mean, that was so cringy. Um, like we have this very bad dinosaur story in the beginning. Obvious advertising. Like half the actors were okay, and the other half of the actors were terrible. Like the set design was terrible. The music was terrible. The whole story, like this movie is just a pure joke, all out.
Yeah, it's actually really interesting. This was distributed by Disney through their subsidiary Hollywood Pictures, which technically makes this a Disney movie. But uh,
Like any movie.
yeah, it's like it's pretty. The development of this movie was actually like really bad if you know anything about that. Like there was this one scene where like you know the scene within the clubs and they had dances and stuff.
Oh,
Well, originally in the script, the script called for strippers, so at the last second they had to change them out, and not only that, but the person who played Mario, Bob Hopkins, I
yeah.
think, he broke his arm during filming, so he had to wear a cast for some of the scenes, which I thought I would notice more. I actually didn't notice at all, but
Yeah, Bob Hawkins is a very good actor, but like you would still think you would see the cast at least.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, like this movie couldn't seem to get anything right.
hmm Have you played any of the Mario games? Like, what is your history with the Mario series?
Um, I've played quite a few of them. I didn't play the original ones exactly, but I did play the Super Mario Brothers. I played the My favorite Mario game is Mario Tennis Aces, which is extremely Mario.
hmm
Uh, but no, I played the Mario Odyssey. I know my Mario game as well.
Yeah. Well, even if you've never played a Mario game, I think this movie is not Mario.
Yeah, like anybody who came to this movie thinking that they're gonna watch Mario and Luigi jump on Goombas are gonna be so surprised when they realize that the Goombas are just de-evolved dinosaurs.
And I guess we'll get to that later. But the dinosaurs. Why is this movie so obsessed with dinosaurs? Like the Mario series, okay, they have Yoshi, and like there are some levels in Mario World called Dinosaur Land, but
It was
it
never seen though.
it's there's no dinosaur. Why?
I don't.
It's just it doesn't make sense, and this movie does not understand evolution. Let me tell you that much.
How did they end up looking the same as the mammals? and like have hair and like it just didn't make any sense.
I guess that would be excusable, but this movie just fucking sucks. So
Yeah.
there's really no. And
Like I liked even how they brought Yoshi into it and made sure to make it very clear that he was a weird dinosaur.
yeah, why couldn't Yoshi? Well, I guess Yoshi can't talk in the games, but I mean, you would expect Yoshi to be like a person at this point.
Yeah. Or at least something cute. I mean, like they just brought in this ugly creature.
Yeah, I love how like Yoshi had more personality and more heart than like any of the characters in this movie.
That is
It
true.
doesn't even talk. But um, so I thought the person who played Mario was like, he's Mario, but the person who played Luigi, I don't know. Like he didn't really look right to me.
Well, I feel like the whole roles of Mario and Luigi were almost reversed. Like always in the series, Luigi was that sort of like goofy, scary guy, and
Hmm.
he just being this like brave Italian whatever, doing like everything that Luigi would never do.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was thinking too. But I think one of the explanations for that, um, is this came out in early '90s, and I don't think Luigi's character was actually developed at that point in the games. I don't think it was developed until Luigi's Mansion and the other GameCube games, like the tennis games and the
Yeah,
sports games.
but
So that might be it. But I just find it weird how he didn't have a mustache.
yeah, that was also weird. Like he seemed too Italian in some ways and too un-Italian in other ways, almost.
Yeah, he definitely talked like
Yeah.
An Italian New Yorker. But like he was so much younger than Mario.
Well, I think the age difference between the actors is like nearly 20 years or something.
I know, and I don't know. They were trying to get Tom Hanks to play Luigi actually, but they're like, Tom Hanks had a bunch of like box office bombs, so like, yeah, he's Tom Hanks is a washout. We'll just get this guy instead. But that was a
Yeah, story of Tom Hanks' life.
yeah, just I don't. Again, Mario looks like Mario and he sounds like Mario, but Luigi is just like way too young.
Yeah. I mean, like, but that also goes to like the actors. Like, you see Hoskins being this really talented guy, but the Luigi actor never really amounted to an insane amount
Hmm.
himself. So, and like, it really was supposed to be about Mario, but it just didn't manage to get that shown off.
Yeah, it is. This movie is. I didn't even notice this. It's actually kind of focused on Luigi more than Mario.
Yeah, which I didn't like. I mean, like, it's the Super Mario Bros. I get they made that whole big scene about how it's the last name, but still, I'm like, you always expect it to be Mario.
Yeah, and it's not like they really did anything interesting with it. They were just lazy, kind
Yeah.
of. You could easily replace Mario with Luigi in any of these things,
Hmm.
and it wouldn't be different.
Yeah.
Uh, it's this movie just takes like certain elements of the Mario Bros. Like series and just amplifies it 100 times. Like the fact that they look like they're from New York, so it takes place in Brooklyn, and the fact that they're plumbers, like the the fact that they're plumbers isn't even like a big thing in the games.
Yeah. And then like they just made it this whole big like issue about how they know everything about pipes, and
Like,
like they go into this I don't know what they call it, like Koopa Town or whatever.
mm-hmm. that
Like it seemed with the tools and it's all of a sudden like, oh man, they must be plumbers.
I, like that's not a defining feature of the Mario Bros. In the games.
If anything, it was just something to like give them a bit of a backstory. But
Yeah,
more than that,
yeah. They should. I mean, this should not have been in Brooklyn at all, obviously, because they're the Mario Bros. They're supposed to be in the Mushroom Kingdom, which technically the city in this movie is called the Mushroom Kingdom.
oh, um, that looked a lot like the Mushroom Kingdom if you ask.
it's 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 so crusty.
Yeah,
It's
I mean, I don't know what game you've been playing, but every time I play Mario, I always see the Mushroom Kingdom as this terrible city.
Oh yeah. Just totally
Everybody's so miserable.
totally deprived of color, you
Yeah.
know, police brutality, like all of that. I This movie is so crusty that one of the characters is literally fungus. Like,
I'm like, I like how it was so bad that they couldn't even get Toad to be like an actual like, the Toad from the games. They just came up with some random guy and called him Toad.
yeah, his voice isn't even like high or anything.
He's like larger than all the other characters, but somehow plays the guitar.
It's not like Toad was a key aspect in the movie anyway.
No,
He
he was just there for like what, 5 minutes, 10.
Yeah, but I and they also had Bertha. I don't know if you've ever played Super Mario Bros. 2, but that's like an oddly obscure reference.
I knew about her. I never actually played the game, but
It,
yeah, I was like, why is that here?
yeah, like out of all things, they pick Bertha, and she doesn't even shoot any eggs, which is such a disappointment. I mean, this the I don't know. I've been running my mouth for about 11 minutes. So do you want to say anything? Do you want to bring up any good points?
I mean, like the there were some. The movie seemed almost like it could have been down to maybe half an hour of a bad movie. For one thing, I mean, like the whole story with what's his name, Scapelli, was completely useless.
Yeah.
I mean,
Besides them opening the portal.
yeah, this
Yeah.
whole big love romance between a billion different characters. Like, why? Also, why is Luigi getting with uh Daisy and Dan? I'm like, that made no sense. But
Well,
even further than that, why is it not Peach and rather Daisy? Why is it not Bowser and rather Koopa?
yeah. I mean, like Luigi is with Daisy in like the games, but I don't know why it was like not. Why was it not Mario and Peach?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
It,
Like, sure, Luigi was with Daisy, but I'm like, at the end of the day, it was all about Mario
it,
again.
yeah. It's just I don't know why it was such a Luigi focused movie. That
It just made no sense, especially when you say, like, at the beginning, like, he wasn't a very developed character yet. So
yeah.
why are you emphasizing somebody that people aren't going to care much about, especially back then?
Was Mario's girlfriend even named Peach in the movie?
I don't think so. It was like some weird name or like some just general name.
Yeah. I just the amount of things this movie gets wrong is surprising, but what's more surprising just the things that it gets right, just these completely minute details it gets from the games that it decides is more important than like the big overarching stuff. I
Yeah, I mean, like, this movie was clearly made by some guy who was just high one day.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? I want this added in my feature, but let's not add all of this important stuff.
I feel like they wrote the script and then they got the rights to the Mario Bros. And then they had to like just rewrite a few lines to make it Mario, and they're like, "Yep, done."
Yeah, like that's how I would describe it too. I mean, like, there was it just wasn't good. Like, they just brought in all these things that made no sense for the sort of audience it should have been for.
What audience even is this for? It's obviously not for like really little kids. Is this for like, but like, is it teenagers?
I think it's teenagers, but I don't even think it's like a 13-year-old. I think it's like 15, 16.
Yeah, the scene where Mario goes face first into Big Bertha's tits is definitely an interesting choice for a kids movie. But I mean,
Well, you said it themselves. They were like using strippers and stuff.
yeah, they had to change that. Uh, just a mess. This movie, just on every single level, is an absolute mess. And the fact that they chose Mario's name to be Mario, just
Honestly, I kind of like that part. That was
really,
part of the movie. Yeah,
Mario just saying Mario was the best part of the movie.
in my opinion, it was the best. I'm like, this funny part where you find out why they're called the Super Mario Brothers.
Well, I guess that's something. There we
Yeah,
go.
I mean, like the whole scene lasts for like 10 seconds. And it was just, in my opinion, so funny. Like they just do it so fast paced.
uh, it's and I don't even know, just everything in this movie. Like the fact that the Babam wears Reeboks. Did you see that?
Yeah, I'm like,
That's
so obvious. Uh, what's it called?
product placement.
Yeah, product placement in the movie.
It why why even put it there? Like why would a I I don't
How
know.
did it get there?
I don't know. The fuse must have been like 5 minutes long. It
It just walks so slowly. Nobody bothers running out of the way.
it's ah I don't even know why are there even cars. Like what? Why does this movie exist?
Uh, I honestly can't tell you. I mean, like the movie was clearly not made by somebody who played a lot of Mario growing up.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, there's no explanation for why somebody would create this. I mean, I could see making a Mario movie, but not this Mario movie.
Yeah, and even you kind of feel bad for Nintendo, but at the same time, it's partially their fault because they were approached by like Disney. Disney distributed this one, but didn't actually make it. But they were approached by Disney and like Warner Brothers and people like that to make a Mario movie, and they went with like this unproven mom and pop like film crew that just like I guess they just want to support indie films, but it just blew up in their face.
This should not be an indie film for sure. Super Mario Bros.
No, this didn't make money.
Yeah, I think like movie would have been a lot better. Would have been a lot better.
Yeah, a Disney movie would have been very interesting.
Yeah, Disney movie. I'm like, I don't know how good you can necessarily make this franchise in movie form, but at the same time, like the fact that this remains the like two directors like top movie ever, kind of pitiful to
Yeah,
say.
kind of shows you something about the directors and how they're just incompetent. Apparently,
Yeah.
they were rewrites like every day. Like apparently they wouldn't even remember their scripts like the actors because they knew it was gonna be rewrote the next day.
Well, did you notice how Dennis Hopper, who was playing Koopa, like, and there were some very notable scenes where I was thinking like he should be making eye contact with the person, but he's looking in the distance, and then I started realizing that he would like pause, and that's when I realized he was reading cue cards. He was, uh, I kid you not, I was just watching, like, is he reading something?
I did not notice that. I did notice there was some like strange delivery from some of the like the delivery for the most part was fine, but there was like these certain lines where the characters just did not say it well.
Yeah,
It's probably something like that. Oh my god! And this movie actually got nominated for an Oscar though for the best visual effects.
I could see that those directors were visual effects artists, and it wasn't that bad visual effects
Mm-hmm.
wise, but the movie itself was just it wasn't made for
Yeah,
that.
like a Mario movie. I guess let's be honest, a Mario movie should have been just animated, just 100%.
Well, they're planning to make an animated version now, but
Yeah, by Illumination, which not too happy about, but whatever. It should be better than this at least. It,
yeah.
it
Honestly, if I was to do it, I would just make another bad movie just to make the first one.
I mean, there was gonna be a sequel to this one.
I
Um,
could see why that didn't happen.
yeah, but you can at the cliffhanger at the end just never turned into anything. But did you see the after? My favorite part of the movie was actually the after credit scene. I
With
don't.
Aiden and Spike.
Yeah, yeah, I thought that was kind of clever.
Yeah, I'm like that was. It would have been really fun if they made a game like that afterwards.
Yeah. We I think Nintendo
Iggy,
didn't want to touch this.
yeah, but I'm like Iggy and Spike did do good in the film. You have to give them that.
Yeah.
They were amazing.
But if I'm not wrong, Iggy is one of the Koopalings, right, in Super Mario Brothers 3.
Spike
So,
is well, I don't know if Spike was in Mario Bros. 3, but Spike is also one of the Koopa Links.
really? Oh, I didn't think he was.
I think he is.
I thought that was just let me look
I'll,
up the Koopalings. Um I wouldn't be surprised if they got that wrong. Uh there was Larry, Roy, Lemmy,
uh,
Wendy, Iggy. No, there was no Spike.
yeah, that's weird. I thought that
Yeah.
he was one. I definitely heard that name somewhere before then.
Yeah, let me look up Spike Mario character, but I found that weird that they would not name him like Larry or something. Oh, Spike is
Oh, yeah, that's
another.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, that makes more sense.
yeah. That's but that whatever, whatever. The least of our problems at this point is Spike. Also, did you catch that King Koopa? Was it cannibal?
I did not. What
Oh,
was he?
yeah. Not only that, but the whole society that he lives in is a cannibal society. If you if you listen to what he orders on his pizza, he orders
Oh, the lizard tail and stuff.
dinosaur tails on his
Yeah,
pizza. That's cannibalism.
that's something to talk about.
uh, but again, it's just no. I don't even know what to say.
You can't say anything about it. I mean, like this
It's
movie should have never been made. This movie should have been scrapped before it ever was released.
mm-hmm,
But just the fact it was released, I mean, like at the end of the day, like I don't know, I don't want to say it ruined anything for good for anybody other than the directors and producers because they flat out sucked. But like this movie was just a bomb at the end. Like I don't know how it did financially. It probably
mm-hmm.
did terrible, but it just was not good. It just should never have been made before.
Yeah, it actually led Nintendo to like not make any other movies, like not let any other movies be made of their properties.
I could see why. I mean, like, if this is what happened with the Mario Brothers, imagine what would have happened if they all of a sudden went on a whim and started saying, "Let's make a Zelda movie now. Let's make
Mm-hmm.
a." It would have just and it could have ended them. It didn't end them this time, but it could have if they continued with it.
Yeah, it's in a Mario Brothers movie. I think it could work. Like I think you could make that, but it just feels like it's a script for another movie. It just doesn't make sense.
Well, they clearly stole other things from other movies, and
Yeah.
like, I mean, like, the whole story of like two brothers go on this quest to save a place and one of them is in love. It's not a bad idea at the end of
Mm-hmm.
the day. I'm like you see it all the time in film, something along those lines. But I'm like, why did it have to be the Mario Brothers? It's at the end of the day, like sure it fits the storyline, but of what you'd say generally for the Mario Brothers. But it just was not made for this movie. Like it was not made for this franchise.
I think this movie would have been like a lot better if it first off was not associated with Mario, and
Yeah,
like then I could kind of understand it, like as a sort of Blade Runner parody, kind of, because there's like a lot of dystopian Blade Runner aspects in here. But it but it is a Mario movie, and it I can't believe that this was made, and at least the guns that's like one thing that they did well was the gun. There's like one of two. Well, there's two guns that people hold in this movie.
yeah,
One shoots fire, which makes sense. But the other one looks like a super scope, which was the gun accessory for the SNES, which I thought was clever. But kind of feeds into what I said before about how it just got like these really minute details right. Like I kind of expected them to be like holding AK-47s at this point or something. like, uh,
I mean, like you have to give them some respect in that aspect, I guess. Like they could have done the AK-47 like you did, but like keeping those details, I'm like it'll keep those people who stayed that long into the movie interested, I guess.
yeah, like maybe this is all just a joke. It's all just a dream. I
Maybe in the end it'll have some great ending.
yeah, it's. I mean, the ending is kind of obvious, kind of not, but
Like you know she's gonna come back. You know
yeah.
there's gonna be something else. It doesn't end there, but it just the way she did come back, the way they made this whole movie where you're dreaming of this great thing happening, it doesn't deliver.
hmm You also don't get to see the city, like after like it's rescued.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
only like that brief glimpse where the king comes back.
you get
That
like.
Eve.
I mean, when I still think the city's like a shitty. The city is shitty, right? Because, but really, it's not really a happy ending for anybody but the Mario brothers.
Pretty much. I'm like, I think that's why they were thinking about making the sequel and think
hmm
about show off how things could change now. But yeah, this should have never become a sequel. It was terrible the first time. I messed up the time.
Interesting thing though, there's actually a very big community, well not big, but vocal community of people who like this movie. To the point where I watched the Blu-ray version of this, and at the very end of the Blu-ray, this community of people is actually credited for like getting this released. Like they have this whole website where it details the entire pre-production, post-production. They find VHS tapes with deleted scenes, and they're extremely active. They're trying to make a 4K cut of the movie. You know,
Okay.
yeah, because people for a very long time apparently thought a 1080p cut wouldn't be possible, but these people like dug up the film and like the actual film. I'm guessing that's what happened. I don't know, but these people actually dug up, stuff to actually make an HD version. So there's actually people who are very devoted to this, which I find surprising.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I could see somebody maybe thinking, well, oh man, it's just so out there,
hmm
be entertaining. And I'm like, I guess if you want anything, you can call it a cult classic.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, even then, it's not a cult classic. It's a crappy movie. But I'm like, I guess, some people are just going to go out there and say, well, hey, I could see it maybe appealing to like 100 people worldwide. Like, tens of people will come and watch this movie and enjoy it.
yeah, I mean it's very campy. Um, if you know what that word means in relation to movies, but it's very campy. Um, like extremely. If you like campy movies, like this is probably the campiest you will ever get out of anything. Um, but it just doesn't fit Mario, you know.
Yeah.
Like
It,
I
it's not a story for the Mario Brothers.
yeah, I can see like this movie going in a right direction, but it was just kind of doomed. Like from the Mario IP, it just
About Doom, your next movie should be Doom. The
that one isn't as bad. Have you ever seen Doom?
I have not, no. I
I
heard it's terrible, but
yeah.
I've seen it.
At least that I think that one actually like followed the games at least a bit. you
I
know.
played the game, so I can't say.
Uh, Also, do you notice there's like multiple gay jokes in this movie, which I guess makes sense for the time, but just again, just Mario
Yeah,
making gay jokes.
not right.
It
It.
that's
I mean, I noticed them as well. It's just for a Mario Brothers movie, this is not what you want to hear from your love. From a guy who lives his whole life in the video games, helping save the Mushroom Kingdom, and now he comes here, and all of a sudden he's completely different in that sense.
Hmm. Yeah, it's a me, Mario. I am not the gay. It just doesn't, you know. It's again, Bob Hoskins actually looks like Mario. That's like that's a plus.
Yeah, and I mean, like, he does do something right with Mario. He is a very good in that sense,
Hmm. He's just
but
talented.
he is a very talented. But this movie just it couldn't cut it for him,
Yeah.
and I don't think anybody could have necessarily brought this movie to a greatness when it comes to the acting. But I'm like, if you're looking for something to enjoy during this movie, Hoskins is the right decision.
Yeah, he's the most consistent thing, and despite the fact that he is not the main character, for some reason,
Wait, Mario's not the main character in a Mario movie?
I know. It's like again, they get the major things wrong, but they get the small things right. In the in the part where they like put that thing on Mario's like nuts, or like they shoot like the gun of smoke down his pants. Like I just I guess it just goes with the campy vibe, but it just does not work. Mario isn't supposed to be this mean spirited.
Yeah, Mario's supposed to be the one who's always trying to help people.
Mm-hmm.
Not like always gonna be telling Luigi, let's not do this, let's not do that.
Yeah, yeah,
If I was to do this movie again, where those two leave, Mario would have said in the video game, let's stay and let's help.
yeah. Mario's supposed to be player one.
Yeah.
That's the fucking Mario Super Show is more faithful than this. Like the TV shows are better than this.
Where they create Princess Toadstool instead.
Do the Mario swing your arms from side to whatever. Anyway, um, it's I don't I don't even. Do you want to say anything else? Do you have anything to say?
I don't know. I mean, like, there's not much to say for this movie at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You knock it for what's wrong, and then you just leave it behind.
You kind of forget about it unless you're one of those people who are trying to make a 4K remaster of it, which more power to you, I guess.
I mean, like, I think I'm gonna brag to people about this movie and tell them like, hey, I actually managed to sit through the whole thing
Hmm.
and watch it without taking a nap in between. But, I mean, like that it's not. I'm like that's certainly not an easy feat, but other than that, I don't want anything to do with this movie.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'll watch this ever. I might show it to people, like just to see how they react.
I think that this is worse than Chinese water torture.
Yeah. I might not have those friends after I show it to them, but I just want to be in the same room as somebody while watching this movie.
How to lose a friend in an hour and 40 minutes.
Oh my god. This it's it's so odd. It's and not in a good way. Not in a good way. Uh, well, uh, you have anything else to say? Or should we wrap this up here?
I think it's time to wrap it up, like that movie should.
Yes. Let's wrap it up. Let's push it somewhere deep in our heads and let's uh, let's pretend it never happened.
Yeah, when I'm going to therapy 20 years from now, the reason why, but
Yeah.
now let's live happily.
Doctor, you don't get it. Mario pushed his face into somebody's tits. He's not supposed to do that. I've had nightmares about it ever since. This movie probably genuinely gave kids nightmares because people brought like their 10-year-olds to see this because it's Mario.
Yeah, now I'm thinking about that, like how there was probably some little kid who showed up so excited.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh my god. Mm, It,
Like
it,
movie, like all you had to do was add in a few curse words, and it would have easily been a rated R movie.
yeah, and it would have made sense. And how like Mario gets mugged, and like it doesn't fit.
Lady, everything.
Wait, what did you say?
Like he gets mugged by an old lady of all things. It couldn't even
Yeah.
be something cool.
And just the fact that Bertha was like the most faithful character. Or maybe I'm mixing up Bertha and Bodo. I don't even know. I don't even care. This movie sucks. It's like the Grinch 2000, but the Grinch 2000 made sense for like the tone that they went with it. Mario's just not supposed to be this grouchy and dark and campy and disgusting and crusty, and it's just not supposed to be all of these things. And it's like I can imagine a kid seeing this and being very disappointed.
Yeah, the kid never played Mario again.
Yeah. Uh,
That's when he realized that he should stick with Sonic.
yeah. And then the Sonic movie came out, and it was not nearly as bad.
I actually enjoyed the Sonic movie.
Yeah. Uh, Whatever. I think Mario definitely deserves its place on the shit list.
What, you didn't think so before we began?
Well, I judge movies by the content of their character. Can't judge book by its cover. You have to go in, yeah, completely unbiased. And now I'm out, and I am biased. I do not like this movie. Uh, it failed in almost every aspect, and
The poster and the cover was the best part of the movie.
yeah, it's yep. Don't watch it. Let us watch the bad movies for you. Yep, definitely deserves its place on the shit list. So, yeah. Thank you for coming on, Dodo, and thank you for the idea for the series. Um, Hopefully it'll be very long and prosperous, if that's a word, and hopefully we can have you on again one day.
Hopefully I can show up one day, but I'm gonna be really sorry if turns out long and prosperous, because that means you're gonna have to watch a lot of bad movies.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess you're right. Anyway, yeah, fuck you. Never come back on my show. No, I'm just kidding. Um, but yeah, thank you for watching the Super Mario Brothers movie again. Um, Hopefully, you say you watch it like every year, right?
Oh yeah.
I don't know why you hate
Uh,
yourself, but
you see, it's like a drug. The type where you go on a journey and you hate it, but then you come back from the journey and you're like, I have to do it again.
yeah, I know movies like that. I
Yeah.
I can definitely see something like this, but yeah. So thank you for coming on, and I will see you guys in the next episode of The Shit List.